neither team have. Team Secret saying, we know what we can do with Samuel, maybe we're not sure what you can do, so we're going to get rid of him as well. Yeah, Samuel just a massive power pick in this current meta, so not going to be seeing that too much go through, I don't think. Obviously, especially after seeing what Secret just did with it, I think a lot of teams are going to be banning away, but there's that other top 3 power pick, the Adagio, coming through. I definitely like this pick a lot more than the Ringo for probably the lane position. You can technically still move Adagio to other places in the game. I don't see many jungle. Roam Adagio is in some whispers, but we do see Lance going back over to Team Secret and Sky, perhaps the storied Kvalifar Sky we've seen many times before. Yeah, and these are kind of like the 5 heroes that we always hear about. Every team pretty much said these are the 5 that you're going to see off the board first almost every game, and still holding true here. It's still early, but I don't really have any reason to doubt any of those picks. But now the Arden coming through. Yeah, Arden had a lot of success in the North American Championships. We saw TSM pulling this hero out many times to great success, and Rising Lotus says we think this might be an answer to the Lance and Sky pick. They don't know what the 3rd pick is going to be from Team Secret, so they need to build a comp at this point that they feel will be strong into pretty much anything, and we do see the Taka. Yeah, the Taka going to be coming out. That's kind of their engage. They're going to be using that to jump in alongside the Arden. I was hoping to see a specific pick come out for my personal favorite compositions. Not the best, but it's a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to play. And it looks like actually Secret are going to pick that one up. It's going to be the Finn to round out their composition. Will that end up on Mowgli, though, his signature hero? I think at this point it looks like Team Secret is going to run the carry Lance. I have to give it to them. This draft is really strong in their favor. I do like the Taka into the Sky, but Team Secret looks to take it again. Yeah, I just don't think that the Taka is going to be able to do enough damage to those tanks of Team Secret.
Well, we'll have to see here, gentlemen, because Game 2 coming into this for Team Secret and Rising Lotus. It's once again Action Jackson and Xingyi.
Thank you very much, Forecourt. This composition is one of the ones that Team Secret rode to success during the Evil 8 split. Every single member is on a comfort hero. On the flip side, I do think that there's some power in the composition coming out from Rising Lotus. I just don't know if there's the same level of comfort.
I definitely agree with you, and I'm kind of confused by the Arden pick. You know, Arden, he was very, very popular, but I feel like they had the Finn available. Finn, I think, is a much stronger roamer right now. And it just kind of baffles me why they didn't pick up the Finn at this time.
Have to see if Rising Lotus can pull out the victory here. Their backs are against the wall. One more loss drops them into the loser's bracket. Team Secret, one more win catapults them towards the winner's side of things. Kvalifar is on the Sky in lane up against Jichun on the Adagio. Talk to me a little bit, Xingyi, about this matchup between the Sky and the Adagio.
Well, the thing about Adagio, he's got a lot of poke and harass, and as long as he can get Kvalifar on fire with his gift of fire, actually, you know, he can do a lot of damage. But Kvalifar is being very clever with his positioning, staying away from the minions, so he doesn't get on fire. And although we see all 3 members of Rising Lotus there, they're not applying any pressure right now.
What do you think about the strategy of having Keanu go up and help clear the wave? Do you think that makes any sense here? Actually, hang on a second. We'll get back to that because it looks like Rising Lotus might want to go for a fight. You can see Team Secret, they're 2 versus 3 right now, but Palmatoro has the first few attacks. Keanu, got to be careful. Prez as well, taking a lot of damage. There's the Impale. Where's Kvalifar? He's making that rotation down. Vanguard, not going to be enough. Kvalifar finds first blood against Rising Lotus, and Keanu could be soon to follow if he's not careful. Does get spotted out here, has the Kaku available. Palmatoro buying his time though. Mowgli using the flare to scout out that one direction, get the wall into the pit. Keanu does manage to dodge a little bit of damage with the Kaiten, but Palmatoro is being very disciplined, holding on to that Impale, looking for the best opportunity to use it. He might try and jump over the wall. Keanu just gonna back our way here. He needs some help. Prez might be there to give that to him. Team Secret swap focus. They're going for the camps, stealing them away. Good Kaku does dodge out. Palmatoro's Impale. Mowgli's quite low on health. Keanu could try and go back in, maybe find the damage, but Palmatoro is staying on the front line, finally backing away there. Interesting exchange in the jungle by Team Secret and Rising Lotus.
Yeah, that was a very interesting fight at the start, and I feel like there's a little bit of kind of lack of synergy there between Rising Lotus. I felt like Keanu wanted to do one thing, and his teammates were just going the completely other way, and I feel like they could have just stood their ground and fought there, but that's an Impale.
Palmatoro, great Impale coming across right onto the scout trap. So Keanu actually taking a bit of extra damage there. We need that rotate out of Kvalifar though. Look at Palmatoro, he's extremely low right now. Kaiten is going to find the kill. Keanu dodges out of the way with that Kaku. Kvalifar looking for Perez. Can they find it? Mowgli has to back away as well. This game, at least, Rising Lotus is going to pick up 1 kill onto Team Secret.
Savage. Well, that was a good invade. We're seeing Taka picking up the back camps from Team Secret, whether or not he'll get them both. But, you know, that's still pretty good there. You know, it gives him a good advantage. You want Taka to get ahead while he can.
Absolutely. Keanu is finding some opportunities to make things happen here. Yichun doing a good job of rotating, at least, quite frequently with Rising Lotus. Team Secret, seems like their focus right now is maybe a little bit more on giving Kvalifar room to farm. He's not making those rotations as quickly. He's guaranteeing that he gets the minions in the wave in order to get a lot of gold early on here. He does have some nice damage picked up. Looks like he's going to be going towards the crystal path. Prez finds some good harass, but nothing that Yichun can really jump on.
Not really, and I think what Kvalifar is doing, what you were saying, is he's kind of out-farm. Well, he's not actually out-farming. He was out-farming when I was looking about a second ago. But Kvalifar, he does want to kind of get into the late game. I feel Crystal Sky there definitely does a bit better in the late game anyway.
Keanu spotted out by the Polite Company. See Team Secret just playing quite safely near their turret right now, especially after giving away that kill early on onto Yichun. They have to be careful about the damage that a Taka and an Adagio can put out early on. Kvalifar thinking about backing, but actually baits Keanu into a turret shot as a result. With Palmator using his boots, he wants to go for something. Not going to jump forward with that impale straight away. In fact, holding it for a very long time. Palmatoro being very safe with his ability use here.
Yeah, it's quite unusual. I'm looking at Palmator's farm. He's 9, and if you look at Keanu, that's 21. That's a difference I'm not expecting to see coming out from Palmatoro. And part of the reason is we did see Keanu do a kind of early invade after a successful team fight, and that he does want to get more farm. He does want to get the defense and offense right now, because right now, I just don't know about that.
Yeah, Palmatoro, I think because he was the one who died in that exchange, it made it doubly effective, basically. He wasn't able to go back and defend his jungle from the invade. Kvalifar had to stay in lane. You know, he needed to get his farm. So this has given Rising Lotus and Keanu specifically a window of opportunity here, some kind of an edge in the early game. They do step on that scout trap, though. Team Secret knows where they are, and given that Palmatoro and Mowgli are grouped up nearby, maybe they look for a little bit of damage. Good flare out of Prez, though. Stops any kind of trickery there from Team Secret.
Yeah, they are playing a very different tactic from the last game. Last game was all about applying that pressure in the jungle, in the lane very early on. And right now it just seems that, you know, Palmator and Mowgli are quite content just to roam through there and just allow Kvalifar to farm. They're not looking for those early fights.
Palmatoro is thinking of changing that up now that he's picked up a tension bow, has moved forward a little bit on the map. Kvalifar keeps dipping into the jungle, but not really committing his path down there. Look at the damage onto Keanu. That's tension bow doing some work. Mowgli with the Polite Company. Keanu got to be careful here. Giphian wall lands onto Perez. He needs to get out of there. Fountain's doing some serious work, but another impale out of Palmatoro. They are going to find a kill. Team Secret take down Prez. Keanu at no point felt comfortable enough diving back into the fight.
I feel like he could have. Yeah, I think we saw 2 out of 3 members of Team Secret were reasonably low for Taka to do enough damage there. And I think what we're seeing coming out from Team Secret is they're playing the very effective front line with Palmator and Mowgli, you know, 2 roamers, you know, roaming heroes. And it's going to be very effective for Kvalifar. As long as they can keep Keanu and Prez off Kvalifar, it's going to be very effective. I do wonder, though, if Palmator is going to be going for that tension shock build we see sometimes.
Yeah, it's certainly a very potent one, especially in the early and the mid game. You have a lot of damage that isn't really reliant on hitting your skill shots, for example. You just land those basic attacks and they splash onto everyone with a lance. Itemization-wise, it's also worth noting Yichun has picked up his alternating current now, going to have much more damage in the next couple of fights. Fountain, Mowgli didn't even have that one before the last fight. Now he does, but this is going to be the jump forward. X-Retsu out of Keanu. If he wants to set up the fight, Palma has to be careful on the back line. Fountain's still being held on to. Finally popped. Palma is very low, but he's got enough health to maybe make this happen. Oh, he misses the impale. Keanu jumps right over it. You see Kvalifar still doing a lot of work on the back line. Death from above finds Prez. Kvalifar might even want more. He's using his boots right into the bush, but he's got to be careful. Keanu finds the return kill. Palma just needs one more basic attack. The cold mine nearly takes down Keanu as well, but it's not going to be enough. Good reflex block out of Keanu to keep himself alive. He's looking for maybe going this healing camp, finding the treant to keep himself going. Palmatoro knows what's up. He's going to land the impale. That means Palmatoro gets the heal. He's actually going to find so much damage with the tension bow. Team Secret trade 2 for 1. Kvalifar, Jingyi, we got to talk about this. Wasn't that a little bit deep?
Oh, I think that was very greedy coming out from K-Valfar. And although they lost 2 for 1, I think there was some flaws in that team fight. I don't want Team Secret to be doing in the late game. What I felt was they were focusing too much on taking down Keanu and Prez, not respecting that Ishan was just in the back, in the back line, dealing a lot of damage there. I think he was doing a significant amount of damage to Team Secret, and I just felt like they weren't focusing him at all.
This is the thing you got to be concerned about in the early game with Adagio. Basically, after the alternating current, you've hit one of your biggest power spikes. It really does amplify your damage so tremendously. Kvalifar on the flip side has the Broken Myth, but it's worth noting that Broken Myth needs a little bit more crystal power on top to really start doing work. It amplifies other crystal damage that you have more than just giving you a flat amount like a Shattered Lens.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why they aren't, being too greedy for fights right now. We did see that last one. That was kind of questionable coming out from Team Secret. But I think once K-Valfar picks up the Shattered Glass or the Eve, which looks like he's going for, then they'll be in a lot better position to be carrying out those fights.
Rising Lotus knows that they're on a bit of a timer here, though, and they are moving towards the members of Team Secret. Forced Accord not going to land from Mowgli. That's the gauntlet coming out. Palmator stunned at top of it. Glythian Wall knocks him back, but Kvalifar is already down. This is a terrible fight for Team Secret. They need to get out of dodge right here, right now. Palmatoro looking for a bit of return damage onto Keanu, but he can't find enough to commit to anything. This is Rising Lotus starting to take a bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, and I think this is an outcome that a lot of people wouldn't have expected, number 8 seed, number 1 seed, and Team Secret have so far been unstoppable. What was really nice about the team fight, we saw Arden isolating all 3 members. They knew K-Valfar didn't have a reflex block, knew he was stuck there, and the best counter to that Sky is Keanu on that Taka. Taka is just perfected for taking down those Skies.
I really think we might have been wanting to see Kvalifar pick up the reflex block a little bit earlier. He certainly needs it. You can see the damage coming in right now. Kaiten forward from Keanu, but the death from above zones him out from committing for the kill. He is going to juke out of there. Great placement of the Kaku, timing of the Kaku to get him away into safety. He's even going to steal away some back camps. Keanu really coming to his own onto this Taka.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that does surprise me is Team Secret. I'm not seeing much vision being established by Mowgli, who's usually one of the best. And actually, we're seeing the counter happening. We're seeing Prez having a lot of vision down into their side of the jungle.
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job there. I'm surprised that Kvalifar didn't stick around to help out Mowgli on Yichun there. Great Quibble stun came out onto him. But 2 members of Rising Lotus, Keanu and Prez, backed. They're looking to make sure they can shop safely, not have to worry about Palmatoro. And as we come into this 10-minute mark, you can see a few power spikes have been hit. We've got the Sorrow Blade on Keanu here as well. In the next couple of team fights, do you think Rising Lotus still have the advantage? When does Team Secret really turn on?
Well, I would have said, Team Secret, they would have the late game advantage here. But I think after seeing Palmatoro pick him the tension bow, it was a fairly late tension bow, so I thought he was going to be going for the tension bow aftershock combination. But it does not look like that. And that is a bit of concern for me, because I feel the tension bow really does fall off late. And I think that gives Rising Lotus a few more minutes in their power spike.
Kvalifar has just picked up an Eve for himself, but I'm actually not entirely sold on that itemization. I feel like when you're getting burst down very quickly, you don't always have the opportunity to forward barrage for long enough to heal back up, and that's something Kvalifar needs to be careful about. I would have preferred maybe even going for the reflex block before he finished the item, just so that he can use his shield to buy time and get into a position where he can actually sustain. Look at this, Keanu threatening him even under the turret with that X-Retsu.
Yeah, and I feel like, Prez, he has that gauntlet up. I think we could be seeing the same thing happening again. It looks like both teams are beginning to size up for this fight there, and K-Valfar really does have to be careful.
Oh, Forced Accord does pull in Yichun a little bit. Great Quill onto 2. There's the Githian Wall as well. So much crowd control out of Team Secret has set them up for a brilliant fight. The gauntlet comes across. Prez playing the sacrificial lamb for his team. He's trying to boots away. Oh, that pause is so badly timed. That's very tense.
That could have been a beautiful, beautiful fight, but that death from above from K-Valfar, perhaps 3-kill pickup there for Team Secret.
I think it's very likely to be at least Prez, but more than that, it depends on if Rising Lotus does the smart thing, in my opinion, and runs away, right? Because Keanu, he was kind of flirting with disaster on the edge there, looking like he might jump back in. But as you can tell, guys, we are just under a quick pause. This is game 2 of Rising Lotus versus Team Secret. Secret are up 1 game right now. They just need 1 more win to advance to day 2 in the winner's bracket. Lotus, if they lose this, they're not out. They do have at least 1 more series that they can potentially win in to proceed forwards, but they got to be stressing a little bit right now.
I mean, this game's certainly going a lot better than the first one here, and I feel like they've had some really nice moments coming out through this. They've picked up a few kills. They got a nice jungle dominance there going to Team Secret side, and they were actually starving at Palmatoro fairly well. The question is, can they maintain it? Can they keep this up for the next few series that they'll be playing in? And I think if they do that, you know, there is a good chance for them. But Secret, I think they're certainly the clear favorites.
Yeah, I mean, even with the situation we have in game, just based off this last fight, I do have to lean towards Secret, maybe taking this one home. I think it's worth talking about Palmatoro a little bit more, though, because historically, when we see him on lands, it is so dominant. This game hasn't really been. He's been struggling a little bit.
Yeah, and I feel like that, you know, this generally comes into Team Secret. I feel like the play, you know, still very good coming out from Team Secret. A little bit sloppy, though. And you know, that tension, but I'm not sold on it. I can, you know, it has been working, but, you know, it's every 6 seconds you get this massive amount of damage. And right now you want to be dealing as much constant DPS as possible. And I just feel like Tension Bow wasn't the best pickup if you're not going to be going Aftershock.
I mean, you could really see the power of it when it was literally first picked up, right? He just walked up to Keanu, chunked him for like 300 damage, which at that point was something like a third of his health. But now that we're a little bit further into the game, it does fall off. It tapers a little bit. See Mowgli there looking pensive.
He's thinking about those force the chords and how to pull them off.
Yeah, I mean, he did land one decent one, as I said. I feel like the one that set up the Githian wall and the Quibble stun was very good. But aside from that, maybe off a little bit compared to usual. Prez now on your screen. This guy was actually a spectator in London. That's where I first met him.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I think just thinking about that game, I feel that Team Secret, they're focusing a little bit too much on Keanu and Prez. Their real target here is Adagio. You know, for the Taka, it's very easy for him to dodge all the attacks, the impales, and the forward barrages. They should really be trying to take down the Adagio because we're seeing a lot of damage coming out from the Adagio in the back line. And maybe by doing that, they can switch their focus to Taka.
I'd really like to see perhaps Keanu go for a breaking point in this game. I feel like these fights can be very extended, right? You know, you've got a Skye who takes a while to ramp up, and Keanu has been doing a good job of going in and out of the fights, really being difficult to pin down and locate and therefore kill. So if he goes for the breaking point, I think he could get a lot of stacks up, disappear for a while whilst the focus switches to Yichun, and then maybe go back in for the execute onto someone like Kavalifar. What do you think about that itemization?
I definitely think that works. And, you know, we could also, I think conversely, we could have also seen Kavalifar going for that weapon Skye. That's something we saw a lot in NA, where you saw this Taka, this very pesky Taka being countered by this weapon Skye because it works very well. And right now, Taka's in a very good position to get those breaking point stacks, build as many as you can, dodge in, weave out, all those things.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I kind of like about Crystal Skye here is it kind of forces the hand of Rising Lotus, right? Like, if Kavalifar just sits on the edge of an initiation range and uses forward barrage, he can get up stacks for free on his Broken Myth. He can do a lot of poke damage. So it kind of says, all right, Keanu, if you don't want me to get a huge advantage coming into the fight, you need to initiate immediately. And as much bullet time as Keanu might have, I think forward barrage can be quite difficult to dodge. Here comes his opportunity, though. Keanu, he's looking for Kavalifar. Can't quite find it, though. Palmatoro with the kill. We found Prez going down during that as well. During the pause, Yichun falls. It is the ace for Team Secret. They've now accrued themselves a very marginal gold advantage off the back of that fight.
Well, I think they're going to be getting the gold mine as well as a turret. So that's going to be an incredible 1,800 gold there going towards Team Secret. And that was a very nice fight. You know, we spent a lot of time talking about how what a wonderful force to core that was, what a wonderful Githian wall. You know, and it's culminated in this.
All right, so Team Secret, they've finally broken this game open. They're starting to advance towards the late game Skye potential that we know and love here in Europe. Palmatoro, he should have, yeah, he's got a lot of gold after that one. 2,000, maybe looking towards a Sara Blade. Yep, that's what he's gonna pick up. Now picking up some defense. We've got a Crucible from Mowgli. A lot of items in the back pocket for Team Secret here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mowgli picked up that contraption. You know, it gives you cooldown as well as that vision that you really need for Keanu, who's just, you know, I feel like we're not seeing a lot of vision coming in from Team Secret, but hang on.
Yeah, we might have a fight developing here. Forced Accord not going to land onto anyone. Notice that Kavalifar has that reflex block now, so he can get away from a gauntlet if it's not perfectly timed. In fact, Prez doesn't have it available yet. If he did, I imagine we would have seen the initiation there. Keanu wants to keep the fight going anyway. Githian wall stopping Keanu from doing too much on the back line, but Yichun is still very safe. He can maybe get another heal off here. Keanu, he's going to be able to get out of that impale, but it's not enough. The damage is there from Palmatoro. 2 kills for Team Secret. Yichun on the run, but he's got nowhere to go. Kavalifar zoning him out one way. Palmatoro and Mowgli the other. Back-to-back aces for Team Secret.
Certainly looking a lot better now for Team Secret. What happened in that fight? Well, I feel like Ichun, he just wasn't able to do that much. You know, we saw Mowgli standing right in front of him, harassing him. He wasn't able to join into the fight. And actually, you know, Kiana and Perez, they were doing a lot of damage to Cave Alpha and Palmatoro, but, you know, a good, very well-timed Impale just stopped all that.
All right, so Team Secret, they've taken a firm position on the map now. They're really in control. Kvalifar starting to siege up a little bit. Keanu wants to stop him, but he's 1 versus 3. He's got to be careful. Quibble anticipating the retreat, but it's not going to be there. Kvalifar finds the kill regardless. That certainly is a window of opportunity for Team Secret now to maybe push some more. They do find another turret.
They definitely do. I think Kiana running to that forward barrage may not have been the best idea there. And potentially could have picked up the kill there on Cave Alpha, but, you know, that's not looking great for Rising Lotus right now. They had a really, you know, I wouldn't say a fantastic lead, but they had a lead.
Yeah, they had a lead, and the past tense there is really the key. Team Secret have come back in a big way. They're looking to maintain that pressure. 1 minute until the Kraken spawns, and Palmatoro just picked up an Atlas Pauldron. That's going to be big. It really deals nicely with Keanu as well as Yichun, as they both rely on their basic attacks for damage, even though Adagio is a bit of a mage. Team Secret, they're looking good.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing any armor picked up there for Cave Alpha, who has been principally Kiana's main target. But my thinking is Palmatoro, he's going to be standing very close to Cave Alpha. If Taka jumps on, he can Pauldrons him, and that would work quite well. But Mowgli, he's looking for some action here.
He is, but he's not going to find it just yet. Keanu might abide, however, jumping back in. That's going to be the gauntlet thrown down. Kvalifar is very safe on the back lines right now. Keanu needs to jump on top of him. Where's the backup? Kvalifar running right into the center of the fight, but Yichun is not in position to, for example, go for that burst just yet. Now he's finally firing it off. Kvalifar takes 800 damage. Where was the reflex block? That's going to be it just to keep him alive against Keanu. Keanu very low on the backside. He gets healed from Yichun, but it's not enough. Palmatoro and Kvalifar are 1 versus 2 now. Palmatoro against Yichun and Perez. Can he find the damage? The heals keep on coming. It's going to be the ace from Rising Lotus.
That was an incredible fight there, and at the end, you know, for some reason I thought Team Secret were going to go down a lot faster than that, and when we saw Cave Alpha picking up the kill, that really did come down to him using the series strike to reposition himself, pick up the kill there into Keanu, but then at the end with the 1v2, well done Yichun, that was a really nice fight, but I think it really does show the attack speed there is significantly better than the Lance.
You know what I kind of struggle with about that fight is that Kvalifar used his reflex block to basically bait in Keanu at the end rather than using it to block the verse. Now, maybe I missed the cooldown being up, for example, but he took 800 plus damage from the verse. That is almost half of his health. That was so much work done, and he could have just waited it out. He could have sat outside of it. So a bit of a mistake there, I think, from Kvalifar and Team Secret. They are still in a gold lead, but they got to be careful not to give too much away to Rising here.
Yeah, I feel like there was a few mistakes there, and that first of judgment, you're absolutely right, I didn't mention it at all. But I think, you know, Reachun, he did have that infusion there, the level of an infusion that does add a significant amount of damage there, and we don't actually see any infusions coming out from Team Secret in that fight. Cave Alpha, he does have that level 12 infusion now, so maybe in a better position to kind of come back from those fights.
What I really want to see right now is Mowgli get some proactive, deep vision against Rising Lotus. Look at the amount of turrets that Team Secret's taken down, right? They've killed 2. That lets them push up without really like an anchor point or a base of operations for Rising Lotus to use to then go out on expeditions into the jungle. So Mowgli, if he wants, with support from, for example, Palmatoro, can walk up, get some scout traps down, and really set up to catch Rising Lotus out of position. Because if you don't have the deep vision, all that's going to happen is Keanu sneaks into your backline, as we've seen several times now in the Kaku. It's a little bit risky for my liking. Prez, nice block there. It's going to stop that forced cord.
The war treads coming in.
Keanu, yeah, he's just going to jump straight on the back line here. That's 2 people walking into the gauntlet wall. Kvalifar has found some distance, though. Where's the X-Red? So it's down for 6 seconds. Kvalifar is safe on the back line for now. Yichun stunned up a little bit. Prez could be going down. That's a forced accord, but doesn't really set up the damage just yet. Kvalifar looking for some more. Going for Yichun. That's the burst. It doesn't quite connect. Keanu, he's the last man standing for Rising Lotus. Has got that stealth available, but he walks back into the flare just barely. Kvalifar over the wall with the Surrey strike. That's going to be the ace for Team Secret yet again. They managed to bounce back from that previous fight.
Yeah, I think what happened with the fight was a very promising start there for Rising Lotus, but, you know, they managed to send Cave Alpha and Palmatoro, I believe, on the gauntlet wall. But what happened was we saw Cave Alpha repositioning back, and that was the key point. We saw Keanu just chasing forward, putting himself out of position, and that gave Team Secret the edge that they needed to try and pick up that ace.
I really think it's worth noting that when we were talking about the draft earlier, right, we said, okay, Team Secret, this is a composition that they're very comfortable on, that they've used to great effect previously. Rising Lotus, though, have a composition that theoretically should do well in this matchup. But notably in these last few fights, I feel like you can see Team Secret's comfort shining through. The mechanical outplays when someone like Kvalifar jumps over the wall at the end of that last fight versus Keanu walking into a flare while stealthed is quite a stark difference.
That is a very stark difference. And, you know, those are mistakes you don't see Team Secret making, but they have made significantly more mistakes than they have in the past. But Kvalifar, they're hiding there, but I think they're just going to back away.
Yeah, Keanu might be looking for something here. Mowgli speeds right into the bush, though, trying to set up the fight. Palma rolling back, looking for the good positioning here. Keanu, he's jumping forward with that Kaiten. Yichun is in the center. Things could be looking for that burst. Kvalifar has so much damage coming out of him right now, though, and Keanu gets stunned up. He needs to try and escape. Good fountain timing coming out from Prez. Is it going to be enough, though? Mowgli with a Githian wall stops Keanu from staying in the fight. There's no damage on the carries from Team Secret right now. Keanu going to be going down, forced to cord onto Yichun. He's got no way out. It's a triple kill and an ace for Team Secret as they push towards the base.
Very methodical takedown coming out from Team Secret there, and I think part of the issue was we did see the whole Rising Lotus clumped up together. It was a perfect opportunity for Kvalifar to land his forward barrage. It was a perfect opportunity for Mowgli to land that quibble. And Yichun, he's got one of the longest ranges in the game. That's something that we shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah, I've got to agree. He really just was never in the ideal positioning, and the whole of Team Secret was moving around together throughout the fight, which I thought was interesting, grouping up to maybe stop, for example, easy targeting out of Keanu. It did feel like a little bit of a struggle compared to some of Team Secret's wins in the past, but they've done a good job taking the first series. This is the expected result. Rising Lotus, on the other hand, showcased some power in Game 2. This is something they can expand on for Day 2.
Definitely. They had a really good team fight.